Hey guys, good evening. Sorry to have made you guys wait for some time. There was a little bit of disturbance from my side, so I had to correct certain things, and sorry about that. I'm hoping people would slowly start joining in now. Uh, so it's another good week per se compared to what we've been noticing in the past couple of months. Uh, So let us discuss about that. Let's see where things are going from here. Let us further discuss about a lot of happenings that are within our industry. Definitely from the regulatory front, a lot of interesting things are happening. So we need to discuss about that. We need to see how that is going to impact or affect the crypto prices in short term and both in long term. So let's have a discussion on that. I know the past few months have been clouded by the actions of Donald Trump. Initially, to begin with, the crypto community, we were all rejoicing with what Donald Trump had done to the crypto ecosystem, uh, which was very, very good per se for the ecosystem. Then we all faced, along with the global industry, on the market onslaught that started with Trump's trade tariffs that came into being. So that definitely had a greater impact on all industries, including crypto. But having said that, we have definitely noticed a lot of communication that has happened from the White House that has, at least for a shorter time period, settled down things in the market. Uh, Now, except China, obviously, all other countries looks like they will get some deal or agreement with the US. Most of them have already started making some deals and agreement. Now, China is the only one which is fighting it out, uh, showing US that they can withstand the US pressure, right? So that definitely has a greater impact. As a matter of fact, uh, globally, though we say that things are looking a bit settled down, a lot of people are looking at seeing other alternative assets to put in their investment. See, as a matter of fact, you would have noticed gold has reached the all-time high. Gold usually price keeps increasing when the global ecosystem does not look great, right? Or when the political scenario does not look great globally, that is usually when the gold prices increases, because people would want to try to take their funds and put it into a much safer asset than any country's currency. That is why you're noticing gold's price increasing. Now, Bitcoin is supposed to be the digital gold. If it is so, then Bitcoin should also be reacting like gold, is the general belief, right? It's an alternative asset. It is not an asset that you can equate it to any other country's currency. So people who want to keep their investments safe from any country's currency should be considering Bitcoin. But having said that, in the past few months, we noticed that Bitcoin was also having a tougher run. But in the past week, it looks like there is some positive direction we are noticing in the crypto front. Looks like some of the institutional interest is coming back to Bitcoin. We see the prices of Bitcoin increasing by close to 4% in the last 1 week, and majorly, in the last 24 hours, we noticed Bitcoin going up 2.7 percentage. So that's something that is interesting. And Ethereum hodlers for long we've been seeing red. They had some respite, though it was a very small increase in prices. It is something to rejoice after seeing red for a long period of time. And Solana has been something that people have been very, very interested in this the last 6 to 8 months. The last 1 week, Solana again crossed 6% plus growth, which is very good. And apart from that, there have been some interesting gainers like Chainlink, Ton token, that is Ton, and a few others, right? So The market slowly seems to be coming back. The market slowly seems to be gaining its ground. So now it is time to discuss how long this scenario is going to stay, right? So let's have a discussion on that, along with a lot of things which are happening globally on the crypto front. Let us also discuss that. Now, few quick things we can talk about that's happening. One good news is we saw the second roundtable for crypto uh, that had happened, which is a very good thing per se, because the first roundtable where Donald Trump hosted it, it is good to see the second roundtable that had happened. Now, in the second roundtable, quite a few interesting discussions had taken place where they had decided that they will have discussions on two fronts. One is people who are holding custody on behalf of others. The other one is people who are uh, enabling trades along with custody, right? So there are some interesting things that have happened in that front. Now, definitely apart from that, we noticed countries like Russia, they have gone uh, uh, or put in more effort in making sure that they bring out a Russia-based stable coin. Noticed post the economic sanction that Russia had received, Russia was seriously working on finding a solution uh, to do things out of US's embargo, right? So they had to find a way to keep continuing their trades. Uh, that is something that Russia is trying to do. So globally, there seems to be things which are moving front on the regulatory front. I think in US also they were talking about having discussions on mining impact on the environment and all that. So one good thing, things are looking forward, right? From the regulatory point of view, things are looking uh, to be moving forward this year. We know, especially driven by US and especially driven by the task force that Trump had created, right? So things seem to be moving there. And let's hope that this year will be a lot of action that will happen in the regulatory front, right? That is very, very critical. Now, let me quickly welcome people. Hi, Rajan. Good to see you always here. Uh, I'm seeing not not a lot of people have started commenting it. Yeah, but having said that, anyway, let's continue our discussion. Now, what to expect from here, right? Are we looking at a stable market, or are we looking at a market where there's going to be a lot of bumpy rides? Let's get into discussion in that front, guys. I think that is very critical now. Now, first part, yes. Uh, this week, the market looks like it is recovering. This week, it looks like the market is gaining solid ground, considering the fact that there is going to be a bit of a ceasefire in the Trump's tariff wars, right? Now, if at least for the next few weeks, there's going to be little discussion around the tariffs. Obviously, slowly people are coming to terms with Trump and China fight. They're coming to terms with it. And slowly the global ecosystem is also making changes to ensure that even with Trump and China's fight, the trades keep continuing through other routes. So the global ecosystem or the supply chain ecosystem, that is also adapting to the new normal. So that is something that is happening, and things are settling down. If things are let go as it is, we might slowly see the markets gaining up, and that is something we are noticing. We just can hope and expect that there's not going to be much more pressures that come in from the tariff wars uh, on the prices again. Now, so that is something. Now, again, I touched upon the US task force. Now, interestingly, they have decided that they will be having four more roundtables. Uh, uh, I mean, each one focused on different things. Part A, the first roundtable is going to be based on for trading how regulation should be. The second roundtable it is for crypto custody, how to handle it. The third one is going to be on DeFi and TradeFi, right? How to handle regulations on that front. And the last one is again going to be on DeFi because DeFi is one of the most toughest thing to regulate because it's kind of a self-regulated scenario, and governments are trying to see what further they can intervene in DeFi regulations. So it's good to notice that the SEC's task force has got plan lined up. Now, this is very critical, guys. When you have series of plan lined up by country like US, that will definitely have a greater impact on a country like India. Now, when each of these roundtables get over, there are going to be comments, decisions, and actions that are going to be taken, which is going to be good for the ecosystem, right? Now, that becomes a very good example that the Indian entities can showcase to the government and talk about bringing in a regulatory framework for India. So these are all big steps, though not happening in India, will have definitely a major impact in the Indian ground. Now, so that's something good that we should be considering that is happening. Now, let me welcome few more people. Master Player 3R, good to see you here. Good to notice that you've also seen that institutional buying is happening in BTC now. That is a very good news. That means that the positive sentiments are coming back. That's when institutional guys come, right? They make their bets, and when they make their bet is they start considering crypto as an alternative investment class, right? When they feel that hodling in a country's currency is much more riskier, that is when they'll try to put it in an alternative investment class like Bitcoin. And it is good to see that they're not just putting in gold, they're trying to allocate some funds in Bitcoin. Yes, we are seeing some institutional interest coming back to Bitcoin, which is good because institutional interest will bring in a long-term growth, right? So it will make sure that the markets don't keep falling or keep having a very volatile market that we should be trading in, right? So institutions make sure that volatilities come down. So it is good to see that we are seeing some interest. Garden Resort. Oh, I missed the first second, 10 seconds. Oh, I'm happy that you're here, Garden. It's okay. I was just giving a general recap, but it's good to see you here. Uh, Now, yes, we are all having our fingers crossed, considering that the markets continue this way, with the interest being more institutions coming in to push the market up. Now, yes, trade wars are look like it has temporarily settled down. Let's be very clear. They're not permanently settled down. China and US are still fighting it out, but the whole world is trying to reinvent its own path, considering how it is going to be between US and China going forward. Now, when the world comes to a settled down thought process that, okay, this is going to continue the fight between US and China, and then let's build things around this, we will still look at markets going up. Now, that's not the only thing. We are also continuously seeing Donald Trump requesting Fed to reduce the interest rates, right? He's continuously been quoting that the inflation rates have come down, the job market looks in the right place, basically the unemployment rate it is at the right place. So Trump has been continuously recommending the Fed to reduce the interest rates. So that is going to be one of the big key movers, guys. Uh, Now, when we start these interest rate reductions continuously, they're going to happen. Once it starts, we can at least expect two, three more incidents of interest rates coming down. That is going to have a very, very, very big impact on the crypto prices. So that is something that we should definitely be watching for. Now, the next one, Aaron, do you guys keep buying BTC like Microsoft is accruing every day per dam? What's your strategy? I mean, I would love to understand from others. What are your all strategies, guys? I know the last couple of months has been a very bumpy market. Uh, it is not a market that has been for the weak-hearted. Uh, uh, if people who were mostly doing only meme coins or we were just going behind short-term trades, they would have had very tough market in the last couple of months, right? But people who had generally split their portfolio would have had a better last 2 months compared to others. So I would like to understand what has been your strategy in the past couple of months, and what are you guys thinking going forward, right? Are you, like what Aaron has said, are you trying to make your purchases whenever you see whenever you see the prices correcting? Have you done that, or you made sure that you just hold to your current portfolio and then see through this market? What has been your strategies, guys? I'd be happy to understand. Rajan, market is sideways. How to use these type of markets? Rajan, I'm hoping that at least for the next 1 or 2 months, we might see the markets climbing up uh, for the same reason, right? Institutions are come back, they are making investments. The general global market is also getting used to the fact of the fights between Trump and China, because generally everyone else around the world seems to be having some alignment that they're working towards the US. So the world is coming to an understanding. The quicker they come to an understanding, the faster the movement will be. So I generally believe that there's a slow climb that we're going to notice from here on. Shailesh, 2 months ago, I told 150K BTC easy. I know, Shailesh, nothing is. I mean, I would not hold you wrong, Shailesh. You would have never anticipated what Trump was going to do in terms of tariff wars, right? No one anticipated. I mean, maybe people close to Trump or people who generally follow global markets, when such a leader comes in, they would have maybe had a bet like that. But most of the people in the ecosystem thought it's just one way up, right? There's nothing that can bring the market down. It's not just the crypto market we are talking about here. You've been hit by a global phenomena, something like COVID, right? Now it hit everyone, right? Just like that. What Trump did hit everyone, right? I don't see an industry which was left uh, uh, unharmed, due to what the decisions Trump had taken, right? So every industry had definitely had an impact. So it is okay that your strategy did not, or your particular call did not work out, right? Because most would have not uh, been able to predict that such an event is going to happen affecting the global markets. Is it good to buy gold and Bitcoin same ratio on every month, like rupees 100 gold? Wow, Karthik, you're seeming to be having some very good, interesting SIP. I would actually want to see when you do that, what are the returns you're going to get now? Obviously, you can backdate and try to test it. If you backdate and try to test it, I mean, obviously, Bitcoin is going to be very big winner, even though gold has performed amazingly. If you backdate it, obviously, you should also consider the fact that Bitcoin is the age of Bitcoin is very less compared to gold, so the percentage increase should be higher. But even in the last 3 years, if we can do a good analysis, you'll still be shocked. Bitcoin will still be the winner, right? So yeah, that's an interesting thing you can do, right? Gold is already at an all-time high, so I usually would not suggest getting into an asset which is already at an all-time high. How even more it can go up will depend on how worse the global market is going to become. I feel it's already at all-time high. You might not get the big return that people had earlier jumped into gold is what I expect. Shailesh, today I'm happy for 87K BTC. I'm with you, Shailesh. Let us hope that this just keeps climbing and we don't see a path that is extremely pushing us backward. It doesn't look like that. A lot of positive things are happening. So let's just hope that markets keep moving upwards. Aaron, I'm accumulating from 40K. Aaron, it's amazing, Aaron, what you're doing. It is very interesting to see that you're accumulating, you're hodling, uh, you would have a great story to talk about. I think in at least a few months down the lane, Aaron, you already do have a great story to talk about because you accumulated from 40K. Now, you definitely would have, it's my belief that you'll have a great story to say just a couple of months down the line. What's your view on top crypto guys' prediction on Bitcoin? They all said, yeah, see, now don't be too harsh on them, Master Player 3R. None of them would have been able to predict what Donald Trump has done, right? He just postponed the market a bit, right? The movements a bit. No one expected that such bold moves can be done by an American president. This is out of the book, right? Complete black swan event. No one predicted it. They definitely thought that he would do crazy stuff, but to what extent, right? To what extent he will push his agenda, his election promise. To what extent he will go? He seems to be fast. He seems to have literally moved very very fast in all his promises. Be it even crypto, right? We didn't expect him to move so fast on so many things, but he did it, right? So we were definitely enjoying all the effects of it. Now, even on the other front, he's made a lot of promise and he's still showing the same speed, right? So I don't think we should be going hard on all the people who predicted, because that's what the market was looking like, right? That's what even the institutional interest was looking. Now, even this week, Solana ETF in Canadian markets. So a lot of things are happening in the positive front, right? So a general or even a learned person who's going to predict, he's going to give this prediction, right? The market looked like that it's going to skyrocket, but yes, Trump had other plans. He had so many other promises to keep up to, and he really seems to be pushing or going fast than what the general market has expected. So yes, so maybe it's postponed a bit, but I think these definitely 200K, 150K to 200K is definitely achievable. But it all depends on what all interventions Trump is going to bring. So it's very critical to keep watching the market, guys, keep watching the movements of Donald Trump and global economy, which is definitely going to be affecting your investments. Uh, so it's high time that crypto, with the entry of ETF, crypto came into the main foray of investment, right? Now, then with the entry of a president, U.S. president supporting crypto, crypto entered into the political uh, uh, arena of investment. Now, we are in that phase that the global socio-political arena, crypto is playing a part, and this is a new scenario, right? Not many analysts or many people who predict. It's a new thing for them, right? So you can just take all their predictions with a pinch of salt. This is a very, very interesting thing which is happening in the crypto for the first time, where a political move is actually being weighted by the ecosystem, right? Usually, all it is only regulatorily what positive thing they can do. This, which is still playing out for crypto. We are all waiting for what regulatory positive intervention that Donald Trump can bring in. But not just that, how global economy is going to be affected because of him is something will also affect crypto, which is a very, very new thing for the ecosystem. Now, Varun Ranganathan, sir, please update the UI of Giottus. Varun, I'll definitely, we're working on something, but I'll definitely love to hear if there's any particular area that you're facing, an issue that we should quickly intervene. I'll definitely do that. But or else there is a long-term project that is happening where we are completely going on a revamp. But it's few more months away, right? So I cannot give you any quick update on that. Karthik, it's a good point, sir. Noted on buying goal now. Thanks, Karthik. I'm happy that it was helpful. uh, okay, now I have few more people who are coming in with comments. Now, Before that, I also want to understand from you guys on the question I was asking. What has been your strategy, guys? I know I've been definitely talking about, you guys should do this, that, maybe this, how the market is going to go. But what is your general sentiment, right? I would definitely want to use this session to understand, are you guys thinking or have the confidence now to put in more investment into the ecosystem and buy at these prices, not just Bitcoin, even altcoins as well? Uh, or do you think that you're going to wait it out for the market to recover more? So, so that is something I would uh, definitely like to understand. Uh, hey, Master, sorry I missed you. Bitcoin layer 2 is current narrative. What do you think? Yes, hey, Master, that is a current narrative, but long term Bitcoin layer 2, how it would work. Is Bitcoin an asset that should be used for uh, certain use cases where a faster payment scenario and everything? It's something I am not very confident about. The objective of Bitcoin is completely different. The objective of other cryptos are completely different. Yes, I believe in layer twos in Ethereum, but in Bitcoin, I'm still a bit skeptical on if that is the right way for solving the use case that Bitcoin wants to solve. Bitcoin cannot be the coin that is going to solve every single use case. And it is wrong to use Bitcoin for solving every single use case. So yes, it is the current narrative. We're definitely seeing a lot of things happening there. Uh, that and yeah, it's definitely a lot of things happening in Bitcoin space with Babylon and stuff. But yeah, on sorry, I'm sorry about my throat, guys. But yeah, how long it is going to take, uh, how much of a use case it is going to solve. Is it the right way for Bitcoin? I am on a wait and watch more on that, guys. Rajan, so are we in a bull run? Rajan, I'm, I've been saying for long we've been in a bull run, right? Now, please understand, this time the markets are going to be different than your previous bull run. Previous bull run was totally different. You had a bull run where you knew that continuous, uh, upside was there, and then you had a downside. Now you're getting into a market where there are so many forces that have gotten into Bitcoin prices. It's not just institutions, which was earlier. It's institutions, political scenario, and regulations. These are all playing in the prices of Bitcoin, right? And when it is getting into mainstream like this, you're not going to have continuous ups and continuous down in terms of a bear market. We're going to have a prolonged stretched bull market, as way I see it, where there's going to be a lot of market cycles like this. But it's going to be a longer bull market than we have seen earlier. But it's going to be, the ups. What you're going to notice, it's not going to be the ups what you noticed in the previous bull markets, at least for Bitcoin, right? So there's going to be a lot of cycles that are going to keep happening within this longer bull market that you're talking about. And as a matter of fact, and I'm still believing that we never came out of the bull market. We are continuing with it, just that the market are longer this time. Master player 3R. BTC Ethereum solved 50 percentage, 20 percentage, and 25 percentage. Oh, that's amazing. So you've gotten your fund into large caps, right? That's definitely an amazing strategy, Master Play 3R. Looking at your portfolio, I'm definitely can say that at least the effects of Ethereum Sol would have handled it, and definitely your portfolio. I'm hoping that would be in the positive, right? Because you have really good tokens which counterbalanced each other's price movements. Karthik, 90% meme coins, 10% altcoins, but all in red. Karthik, yes. I mean, it's very tough to handle meme coins, Karthik. It is crazy. You need to you'll definitely be having a lot of sleepless nights, because the problem is it's completely market driven, right? It is not any particular advancement that is happening or any particular regulatory effect is happening. It's completely market driven scenario, and it's a very dangerous portfolio that you're holding, Karthik. Saranya, how gold, bond, and interest rate affect crypto markets? So consider this way. Now people have to invest their money, so they'll try to find a lot of areas to invest, and they would usually want to invest in any particular asset which will give them good returns and with a lesser risk, right? So risk is always associated with return. Higher the return, higher the risk is usually the thing, and lower the risk, lower the return, right? So in a market like this, where globally people are all worried about how the global markets are going to behave, people who are holding, or people who are having assets or bonds of other countries, they would be worried at this point in time, and would think to move out of these assets and put it in a much more safer asset, right? It doesn't get affected by these global trade wars and other scenarios that are happening. So they will try to move their funds out of their existing investment and try to put it in something which is much more long term, right? So now that is why you're noticing the yields in US bonds are increasing, because people, they'll be selling it out and trying to get into a much more safer asset, could be like gold. Now when things like this are happening, usually people try to find an asset which is not linked to a country's performance. We were hoping that crypto could be one of those assets where people consider as an alternative investment which is not linked to a country's performance and everything. But what has also played in is, for a long period of time, whenever the interest rates are less, basically it will mean that there is more easy way of getting funds. There is easy funds available when the interest rates are low. So usually people think that the easy funds will be used for capital investment or creating new jobs and all that, right? But historically, what it has been noticed is, when the interest rates go down, when the funds are available easily, the funds usually move into asset accumulation. In the other sense, it moves into investments. It gets into stock markets, or people investing in stocks or other investment zones. So when interest rate goes down, there's more funds. So people would invest in things like equity markets and also crypto. So it is generally about funds being available much more easier. When funds are available in much more easier way, you will get more investments into assets like crypto, right? So that is the general idea of why interest rate is very, very critical, or a critical factor that we would consider for crypto prices to move up. Not just crypto prices, even equity market is totally dependent on, or it completely watches how the interest rates are moving up and down, right? Hope that answered your question, Saranya. Ravi, Indian laws are tightening in crypto, so give me some useful tips to trade in India. Ravi, actually, see, as a matter of fact, we are getting better and better. These are not new taxation laws that what you're noticing. These taxation laws have been there for some time. Obviously, enforcement is happening on these taxation laws. We definitely noticed a lot of people who were trading in offshore exchanges like Binance or OKX or any other exchange. A lot of these traders were receiving notices from the IT department, especially people who were not paying the TDS since they were trading in Binance or other international exchanges. So enforcement is happening, is the way I'm seeing it. See, usually these international exchanges, only worry I had was they had pushed all the responsibility of taxation on the customers, um, and and they made money through fees, right? On the other end, Indian exchanges had made sure that they intervened and helped, customer being tax compliant, and worked a lot, towards that front. So yes, there is an execution level intervention that is happening from the Indian government, but it was supposed to happen, right? When the law is here, uh, definitely there's an executional tightening that is going to happen. But having said that, the one good thing is now the country is also getting into a lot of discussion on what to do on crypto regulations, right? That is very important. I think from that perspective, I think we are moving forward in our country is the way I see it. Yes, there could be some large changes. There could be some corrections that can happen in either set off of losses and even in 1% TDS. But yes, though those are very critical, on a much larger perspective, we are not looking at going back to 3 to 4 years where the company is still discussing about should we ban crypto. I think we are much more out of it, is the way I feel it, right? So, yeah, that's quickly from my end, Ravi, on the Indian laws. So good, guys. It's good to have connected with you all. It's a good market. Let's hope that the market keeps continuing this way. Let us hope that we have an amazing week with really good growth in our investments. We'll just hope that the prices keep moving up with not much of a global disturbances this week, right? Let's just hope for that. So, with that thought, I'll end this week's AMA again. Every week, 6 p.m. Monday, I'll be having my AMA. I'll be happy to discuss with you all about the market happenings, about any feedbacks you have about our exchange, and even beyond that as well, guys. So, thank you for your time. It was wonderful discussing with you all. Till we meet next week, take care. Have a great week. Bye bye.